Welcome to the Professional Development Coordinators Training for 2025. Today's information is going to be structured around these questions. We'll review PDC job responsibilities. We'll also look at required PD. And then we'll review some resources that are available from Kentucky Department of Education. There are several statutes and regulations that will be referenced and reviewed today in terms of PDC work, but the major responsibilities can be found in KRS 156.095, and those responsibilities are summarized here. These responsibilities include using data to plan, implement, and design professional learning, look at student data and connect it to professional learning for effective instructional practices, and also communicating that information to schools to support them with PL decision-making. PDC work also includes PL record keeping for both certified and administrative staff. As you know, the biggest change this year was House Bill 48, maybe better known as the Red Tape Reduction Act. It included many different areas of education and was signed into law by the governor on April 1st, 2025, and became effective June 27th, 2025. Section 3.3 of House Bill 48 maintains the requirement of each local school district superintendent to appoint a certified school employee to fulfill the role and responsibilities of a professional development coordinator, but allows the local board of education to determine the manner of appointment, qualifications, and other duties of the professional development coordinator instead of the Kentucky Board of Education. While the KDE recommends that local district professional development coordinators continue to participate in annual trainings provided by the KDE, amendments provided under Section 3.3c do not require participation. Annual training does provide PD coordinators with information needed to ensure that the responsibilities of the coordinator as provided in law are maintained. These are the foundational statutes and regulations related to PDC work. Each one will be briefly reviewed, but you're encouraged to read over these at your convenience and familiarize yourself with the intent of this legislation. All listed documents are linked to the Professional Learning webpage. They can also be accessed through the Legislative Research Committee website, which is provided at the bottom of this slide. We begin with 704 KER 3035. This administrative regulation defines several pieces of the district PD plan, including defining what a PD program is and what the program should include. Specifically, the regulation states that a PD program should include sustained, coherent, relevant, and useful professional learning. This regulation also provides specific language around what professional development should look like, particularly that it be tied to the KAS. It should also be focused on content and pedagogy, foster a shared responsibility for student growth among the entire education workforce, be focused on improvement, and be ongoing. In this regulation, you can find the specific qualifications and requirements of your work as a PDC. Also included in 704 KER 3035 is the requirement that each school and district develop a process to design a professional development plan that meets the goals established in the model curriculum framework and in the local needs assessment. Legislatively, a needs assessment means the gathering, sorting, and analysis of student, educator, and system data that leads to conclusions regarding the need for content and learning designs for professional development in identified areas related to educator performance and student achievement. In other words, using multiple data sources to evaluate and determine the needs of the district, and then implementing intentional professional learning to accommodate those needs. For the regulation, each school PD plan should be incorporated into the school improvement plan and shall be made public prior to the implementation of the plan. For clarity, it helps to think of the PD plan and PD diagnostic as the same thing, which should be a skeleton of the actual descriptive PD program. So here's some PD diagnostic basics. The diagnostic is intended to be a tool for schools and districts to use to support designing and implementing school and district professional development plans. Think of this document as a guide to plan professional learning for schools and districts and not just a compliance document. It must contain at least one area, should be aligned with the district and school plan if possible, and it should have ongoing communication between the leadership of the district and the school to be effective. Plans can be revised throughout the year within the diagnostic. However, if diagnostics are not started by June 30th, they are no longer available to upload through the system. And also, please be sure to upload to Cognia by May 1. Some key points and reminders. Again, the due date for districts and school diagnostics should be May 1st. Diagnostics can actually be uploaded or updated as you go along as it evolves. District and school diagnostics should complement each other. And some reminders, some diagnostics were uploaded in the wrong sections last year, so be mindful of that. And always, we like your feedback. So if there are questions that are no longer relevant, let us know, or also additional questions that could help improve PD for your district. This fall, there will be random nest audits, so be prepared for those possibly. And if you have any questions regarding the PD diagnostic, please reach out to the coordinator, Renee Yates. KRS 158.070 is referred to as the school calendar bill, but there are two particular sections related to your work as a PDC. The first section to highlight is the language specific to certified staff PD requirements. Each local Board of Education shall use 4 days of the minimum school term for professional development and collegial planning activities for the professional staff without the presence of students, and that's pursuant to the requirements of KRS 156.095. At the discretion of the superintendent, 1 day of professional development may be used for district-wide activities and for training that is mandated by federal or state law. The use of 3 days shall be planned by each school council, except that the district is encouraged to provide technical assistance and leadership to school councils to maximize existing resources and to encourage shared planning. The technical assistance referenced here is aligned with another statute that follows but opens the door for PDCs to work collaboratively with school councils in planning needs-based PL for teachers. The definition of the student instructional year and teacher professional day are also included in the statute. The second part of the school calendar bill mentioned provides language regarding flexible PD plans, which is summarized here. A local board may approve a school's flexible professional development plan that permits teachers or other certified personnel within a school to participate in professional development activities outside the days scheduled in the school calendar or the regularly scheduled hours in the school workday, and receive credit toward the 4-day professional development requirement within the minimum of 185 days that a teacher should be employed. In order to do this, the option must be reflected in the school's professional development component of the school improvement plan and approved by the local school board. If the local school board approves this, all professional development under the flexible option must be related to the teacher's classroom assignment and content area, or the administrator's job requirements, or is required by the school improvement plan, or is tied to the teacher or administrator's individual growth plan. The supervisor shall give prior approval and shall monitor compliance with the requirements of this paragraph. In the case of teachers, a professional development committee or the school council by council policy may be responsible for reviewing requests for approval. If this is an option your district would like to pursue, be sure that all the components are in place and that the plan has been approved by your local school board. Next is KRS 160.345. Although this provides guidance for SBDM councils, the statute was mentioned earlier in the school calendar bill regarding how your PDC work can support intentional planning at the school level. Language in the statute specifically links back to KRS 156.095 and the technical assistance that should be provided to school councils in developing school professional development plans. This is a great opportunity to provide data and share your expertise with schools as they plan needs-based PL for staff and help them be aware of the characteristics of effective and high-quality professional learning. The last legislation to review is 704 KAR 3325. This regulation is referred to as the ELA bill and provides guidance on professional learning requirements for instructional leaders. Each staff member holding an instructional leadership certificate must have 21 ELA hours each year if they are active. or 42 hours over 5 years if they are serving in a non-instructional leadership position. Unlike PD hours, ELA hours are directly tied to certification renewal for those with this certification. If you have any further questions regarding ELA, please contact Pam Winninger. The following section, we will cover the legal requirements for professional development hours. These trainings are those required by either state or federal law. This list of trainings also provide the minimum requirements. Your district determines if additional training is needed through board policy. This new guidance document replaces the required professional development document in the sample timeline previously provided. And you can find this on the Professional Learning webpage. Section 3, Part 2 of the House Bill 48 is it amends KRS 156.095 to require all certified school district employees to complete at least 1 hour of each of the following trainings within 12 months of initial hire and at least once every 4 years thereafter. So we'll take a look at these 4 and the additional requirements besides the length of time. Okay, the first one is how to respond to an active shooter situation, and the training will be prepared by the Department of Criminal Justice Training, according to the statute in 2A. The second one will be the child abuse and neglect training. Under 2B, child abuse and neglect prevention, recognition, and reporting training, and the list of trainings will be approved by the department. Section 7 requires that we develop and maintain a list of the approved, and local school boards of education must adopt one or more trainings from the list approved under KRS 1560957D. Statute further requires that trainings be web-based or in person and cover at a minimum the following 4 topics. Trainings must also include a questionnaire or other basic assessment tool upon completion to document basic knowledge. And on our website, Professional Learning website, you can find these under approved trainings. There's 4 listed at this time. They are under an hour, so you may combine 2 or more to complete the 1 hour of training. Also in the statute, every public school shall prominently display the statewide child abuse hotline number, which is administered by the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, and also the National Human Trafficking Reporting Hotline number, which is administered by the United States Department for Health and Human Services. These can also be found on the Professional Learning webpage. New bill introduced that goes along with for suicide is 158.039. This actually requires the Kentucky Department of Family Services to post on their website additional information. And the suicide prevention training under 2C requires high quality evidence-based suicide prevention training, which includes risk factors, warning signs, protective factors, response procedures, referral, postvention, and the recognition of signs and symptoms of possible mental illness. The toolkit to assist you in this training can be found on the Safe Schools webpage. And the last one under the cycle is seizure disorder training. So under 2D, there's a self-study review with seizure disorder materials, and the self-study review should be in addition to the 4 days required in KRS 158.0703. Bloodborne pathogen training is a federal requirement for all district staff and should be done on a yearly basis. This one is not in the once every 4 year option. It is a federal requirement. Another training is the physical restraint and seclusion training. This regulation states that school districts are required to have policies and procedures in place regarding physical restraint and seclusion training, and also must ensure that all school personnel are aware of and trained in multiple positive supports and interventions. This also is a yearly requirement. There are resources available for this through KET and KDE, and the local school district makes a determination regarding which trainings to implement and what type of PD credit will be issued. First aid and CPR training is not required for all staff, but is a requirement that at least one adult in each school be certified in CPR for infants and children. Your district may choose to have more than one person trained in this, but this is a district decision. There are often questions about this in terms of certified staff earning PD credit for this training, and that also is a district decision based on local policy. Okay, this slide provides links to trainings for the 4 areas just mentioned. Okay, next, with the requirements for professional learning as well as the responsibility of developing the district plan, KDE has also resources available to support that work. You may be familiar with the PLBB. This is an online catalog of professional learning opportunities available to educators in Kentucky. Here you can find live sessions and virtual asynchronous sessions that are currently available. There's also a place for people to submit an application to provide PD. Sessions range from local co-ops to professional learning opportunities in other states. Please remember, though, anything posted on the PLBB shall not be seen as an endorsement of the quality of the PD or PD provider. While the PLBB provides a large amount of opportunities, KDE has a multitude of other resources for support, standard implementation, and professional learning. All this can be found on the KentuckyStandards.org under Your Standards Resources. When you click on Your Standard Resources, it will take you to a page where the resources are divided into 2 categories: general resources and content-specific resources. As you can see, there are many resources available. As you may notice, the model curriculum framework is highlighted, as this is a good place to start. Our professional learning coordinators want you to know about the following. There are 3 foundational resources that can help secure an effective implementation process. The first is Phase 4, the curriculum development process with its associated tools for year-over-year goal setting, planning, and monitoring. The second one is the curriculum implementation framework to support planning and reflection. And the third one is the curriculum implementation framework and the CBPL guidance document to support planning for and providing CBPL. These resources are available on the KentuckyStandards.org site under Model Curriculum Framework. If you have any questions related to high-quality instructional resources or curriculum-based professional learning, please reach out to Fox or Misty, and they will be able to provide the support you need in this area. If you're looking ways to evaluate your professional development plan, here are some websites that may assist you in that. Also, if you need guidance in the needs assessment process, here on our KDE webpage for CDP and CSIP can help you. And lastly, we provide PDC cohorts. At the beginning of 2023, there was 50 districts participating in our PD cohorts. It was a new initiative to bring PDCs together to collaborate and share with each other to help improve their professional learning across the state, and also allow time and space to gain new ideas or showcase things from the district. We hope to continue that. So look towards announcements for this year's schedule. If you have any questions about the training, please feel free to reach out at any time, and have a great school year.